It is January 13th, Friday the 13th, 2023. This is the Wrestling Inc. podcast. I am Glenn Rubenstein, joined by NYC Demon Diva Issa tonight. There we go, full screen. Talking about SmackDown on Fox, talking about the AEW Rampage, talking a little about Impact Hard to Kill. Now, you want the news? You want to know the latest thing that's going on in the news? Check out the Wrestling Inc. YouTube channel. Jack Farmer and Raj Giri did a news update this week. It's been a crazy week in the world of professional wrestling. There's so much news to talk about that, we don't even have to talk about it. They covered it all.
No, they went live earlier today and did an excellent news podcast. I tuned in and out of it and thought they did a great job covering everything that happened this week.
Absolutely. So tonight, what should we start with first? Lisa?
Well, I figure since we don't have news, we can just cover a little bit of Hard to Kill just because that main event was just so good and emotional. If people don't want spoilers, sorry, I'm about to spoil it. But in the main event, it was a career versus title match between Jordynne Grace and the legendary Mickie James. And long story short, we do not get to say goodbye to Mickie James quite yet. But what a banger of a match, Glenn.
So good. And apologies to Eddie Kingston and the gentleman putting on the match on Rampage at the same time. But I saw Mickie James's entrance tonight on social media and said, oh, wait, I gotta flip over to this. I gotta watch it. Now, amazing main event. Mickie James versus Jordynne Grace, title versus career. Very physical match. Great entrance on Mickie's part. But I have to say, here's the thing. Mickie James at this point is such a legend in the world of professional wrestling. Women's or non, right? I mean, she's done incredible things in her career. Always a delight to watch. Regardless of the promotion she's in, she feels like the most important thing in professional wrestling. Any feud she's in at any given time. I got to be honest, seeing her entrance and seeing the venue, though, tonight, her entrance was A+. Massive money coming out with a drum ritual, of which I would believe is from her tribe. It was great, but when you look at the venue that Impact was in for Hard to Kill tonight, you look at the production value of an Impact pay-per-view, I'm sorry, Mickie James ain't going out like that for her final match. Mickie James deserves to have her final match be in front of tens of thousands of people on a grand stage. Maybe not the grandest of them all, but not where Impact was running tonight.
I agree with you, but on that same note, I personally have been a huge fan of Jordynne Grace, not just the work that she's put on in herself, her changes, her body physically, but her matches in this ring, she put on a lot of bangers, underrated. I always say it on my streams, I always say it on my channel, I think that Impact is very underrated. I do think that the production value and some of the venues take away from people wanting to watch the product, but I personally, I watched this pay-per-view on and off, had it on in the smaller screen. It was some great wrestling on tonight, and I was a little sad to see Jordynne Grace's title reign end, but I was nowhere near ready to say goodbye to Mickie James, so I'm okay with this decision.
And I would be shocked if Mickie James is looking to leave behind this industry as an in-ring competitor. I would be shocked if AEW or WWE were not jumping up and down to have that opportunity to put on what will truly be Mickie James's last match.
Do you think we'll see her show up at the Rumble with the Impact title again?
Because she do it
again this year. Yep.
It was a great moment. It was a great moment last year.
Probably one of the very few, because last year's Rumbles were not the best. But seeing Mickie James walk out there to hardcore country with her title, I thought it was a moment. It was a legendary moment. And I was very happy for her. So hopefully we get to see that again. If they do it, please, WWE, do not announce it. Just surprise us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was upset when they announced it last year. I was like, it's unnecessary. You should have just let it happen.
And I'm shocked actually that NXT wouldn't be making a play to have Mickie come in and wrestle, but also coach and mentor their
Remember her match against Asuka?
Fantastic. I mean, same with AEW. God,
I was so hyped for it.
Honestly, I mean, after what she did with the NWA Empower pay-per-view, I think Tony Khan could solve a lot of his problems by hiring Mickie James to run the women's division.
1000% agree. We saw, and we'll get into that a little later, but the AEW women's division is also starting to show themselves in, as valuable competitors in this industry. I wish they gave them better stories, but the main event of Rampage, also a banger.
Main event was phenomenal tonight. Absolutely love that. I'd heard it was really good, but I didn't try to read too many of the details. But Oh my God, that was something else tonight to take Rampage home and go off the air. So which one of the shows should we cover first?
Let's start with SmackDown.
Let's start with SmackDown. SmackDown opening with the Intercontinental Championship match tonight. Gunther versus Braun Strowman for the Intercontinental Championship. And where was Braun Strowman's little buddy Ricochet to help him
I don't
get
know,
that
but
win
where were
tonight?
his red pants? Listen, I actually really enjoyed this match. It was probably
good.
one of the. I wasn't looking forward to it, and every time there's a Gunther defending his championship, I find myself very invested. I wasn't invested in this one, and they delivered, especially Braun. I think Gunther is gonna put on a good match with everybody, but I thought Braun did well here. Like, I think the match went on for like 15 minutes, and he delivered two big meaty men slapping meat. I'm usually not one to give Braun compliments, but I thought he killed it tonight, both of them, and it was an excellent match.
Absolutely. It's interesting, as John Riley's pointing out, it's like Vince hasn't taken over creative, not yet anyway. Well, I think Braun Strowman, aside from the fact that Vince was there when Braun got let go, I would think Braun would be thrilled to have Vince McMahon back in the driver's seat. But Gunther, man.
But Vince McMahon fired him, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Aside from that, it was a beautiful relationship. But look, I mean, they're all in on Gunther, man. I mean, it's crazy, right? Because Gunther, I mean, look, when he cut weight, got even more ripped as a big guy, like, they are just pushing him in a way that Walter never got pushed. And him going over Braun Strowman tonight, this is actually kind of insane when you think about how invested the WWE was in Braun and the way that Braun can criticize the flippy floppers all he wants. But tonight we had Gunther, an international independent wrestling superstar, go over Braun Strowman and retain that Intercontinental Championship. And as Fat Matt is... Oh, what's that?
No, I was saying both of these men got in excellent shape compared to what they looked like back when they first started with WWE.
True. And Fat Matt saying, I'm sure everybody think Braun Strowman had an injured shoulder, and they were playing that up a lot. I mean, they're giving that as a very clear reason for his loss. But this was a really hot match to open up the show.
Yeah, it was, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I think maybe they're building Gunther for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Glenn,
hope. But who's going to win in that? Gunther's not winning that match.
Brock, of course. I mean, I will be rooting for Brock, but still going to slap.
It's going to slap meat, in fact.
Hard. We love a good meat slapping section. Like, I'm always here for that.
Bring that sign the next time you go to a live wrestling event. I want you to make a big sign that says meat slapping section and just hold that up.
No, I'm gonna print like 1,000 of them and hand them out.
Please do. Incredible. Oh my God, that will be amazing. They're gonna all get confiscated, but that will be incredible.
Yeah, we need to get them up at least once.
Let's make that a thing. Wrestling Inc. universe. Anytime you go to a WWE televised show, meat slapping section. Make those
slapping
signs.
Section, please. Yeah. I will pop so hard.
Absolutely. So we heard from Rey Mysterio tonight, who didn't have a great holiday this year.
He's not the one who ended up in jail. What is he talking about?
He probably sees it as a reflection on him. But he declared himself as an entrant in the Royal Rumble to get back on track.
He said he was gonna win.
I want all the declaration promos to just be down on their luck wrestlers who are just like, here's the deal, like, the wife and I aren't really getting along lately. I think the dog hates me. I put on like 20 pounds. So here's what I need to do. I'm declaring myself for the Royal Rumble to get my life back on track.
Yeah, because that's just the way to do it.
Yeah. Oh, let's make that the New Year's. That's if you like New Year's resolutions. Like, this year, I want to learn French, and I'm declaring myself as an entrant in the Royal Rumble.
Let's go.
Yeah. This year, I'm gonna practice gratitude more, and I'm entering the Royal Rumble. Just everyone can come out there and declare. But he was interrupted by Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross looks like he wants to sell you an extended car warranty.
Okay, so here's the funny thing. I legitimately took a screenshot of him out there and was going to post something similar tonight. And I said to myself, no, that's kind of mean. So good on you, Issa.
I don't hold back. You know, that's my thing. I don't hold back.
Dude, like he used to look so menacing with the shaved head. And now, like, yeah, it looks like he wants to sell me like term life insurance. You know, that should be his gimmick, that he wants to sell you life insurance because he's going to murder you in the ring.
You know, oh, that's actually not bad.
I'd like to talk to you about the way you're going to take care of your loved ones, and once you've passed on, and oh, by the way, I'm going to murder you in the ring. Like,
and you know, Rey Mysterio needs it because he got his wife slapping his son's mommy. Like, that family's a mess. He definitely needs a new sorted out life insurance so there's no more arguments in that family.
But yeah, Karrion, bro, like
I didn't like the hair tonight, Glenn. You know, I've been here advocating for the hair, but I didn't like it tonight.
It's amazing how it just made him look less menacing, less cool. I don't know. I'm bummed because he had such a unique and original look, different than every other bald man in professional wrestling.
I mean, we still had that incredible moment when he threw the water bottle at Drew McIntyre. Never forget.
But can he throw it and have it land? Can he flip it and have it land? That's the question.
I don't know about that. Now you're asking too much.
Yes. So, and then there was the tarot card spot.
I'm so confused. And that's the problem with Karrion Kross. I don't know what their gimmick is. I don't know if he's a menace, a badass, an MMA dude. He's in the dark side. They're tarot readers. Like, I don't know what they are. And I think that really hurts them.
He's selling car warranties by day, but they're Satanists by night.
Maybe. I mean, they're getting those custom tarot cards. That's where the money's at. They need to be selling those sets.
With however this gimmick and feud are, sure.
Yeah, nobody's gonna. I will buy it. I will buy custom tarot cards with like wrestlers on them.
Can we talk about? I normally don't say when I'm watching this. When I'm watching professional wrestling, it is rare where I will see a male talent or female talent, and just something about their look is so on point that you just look at them and you're just like why isn't this person being pushed to the moon? And I have to say,
are we going to talk about Maxine?
We're going to talk about Maxine Dupree.
My God.
Like, yes. I forgot who she was at first. I was like, they were backstage. I was just like, whoa, who is that? And I was like, oh wait, that's Maxine Dupree. And I'm like, why isn't she in like a title feud? Like,
she looked like $1 million.
She looked incredible tonight.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
And Stellar Justin Lopez sent me one of those, those vignettes that they've been doing on their own Maximum.
Yeah, making
models.
a Maxim.
I died laughing at that clip. Like, they're doing some good stuff, but I saw her tonight, and it was just funny because she was surrounded by a lot of big names, and she looked like the biggest star out of all of them. If you're not watching wrestling and you're flipping channels, you're looking at her, and she was right next to Raquel, right next to Liv. Like, I was like, no, my eyes went directly to her.
And that's the thing. And she was in a segment with all attractive women, but the way she presented herself in that outfit tonight looked like the biggest star in the entire company.
Agreed.
Tonight. And she was just background in that scene. She's not in a feud. They're doing a web series. I think it's just on social media. It might not even be on YouTube, of Making It Maximum for Maximum male models. And I don't know. I don't know how creative can see what she was pulling off tonight with it, just even the way she was carrying herself and not say we need to give her something.
Right. I agree 100% because I knew exactly where you were going as soon as you said it, because I felt the same way when I saw her on my screen.
Yeah. I mean, and it's rare, but we've seen this before in WWE where someone is just able to make themselves stand out so much. Mm-hmm. And that's part of it. I mean, you want to talk about the airport test. I mean, yeah, 1,000%.
Correct.
So, but she was in the background of that segment for more or less because Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan got into it. And Liv Morgan pulled off the grade school trick of saying, oh, I got my palm read today. And you see my lifeline there? Slap.
I kind of popped for that, especially because it came right after the tarot card.
Yeah.
I'm like, I love
I
that
thought it
we're
was tied
staying
into
on
that too.
point. Yeah.
I absolutely thought it was tied into that too. So okay, sure. I like Liv. Liv beat Ronda Rousey twice.
She did not beat her clean.
She
Come
beat her
on.
twice. She
Okay,
went down in
Glenn.
the books as having those as wins.
Okay, Glenn.
And I like Liv Morgan a lot. I mean, but I feel like they killed her momentum quite some
They
time ago.
needed to give her a clean win over Ronda.
Tegan Knox versus Zia Lee tonight.
For why? Why, Glenn?
Yeah, Maxine Dupree could have been in this match.
Not even that. It's just like I'm never gonna complain about seeing the women's talent on television.
No, not
but
at all.
We haven't seen them. They don't have a storyline. They were just. It felt like an exhibition match, and I mean, okay.
No, it is kind of strange that they would bring Tegan Knox back, but they've done this before. And I think they're more guilty of doing this with the women than the men, where they will bring someone back and then it's like, or they'll call somebody up and it's like, and guess what? We have nothing for you. Nothing at all.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly how Emma, who we didn't even mention,
Yeah.
looked in the background of that segment as well.
Like, why? Why?
Because reasons. Good match between the two of them, but I didn't care at all.
No, there was, I don't know what the point was with this. And then speaking of it, like, ever since I said that they looked like a group of juggalos going to Ren Fair, I can't take the Viking Raiders seriously.
Oh my god, same. I never been able to take them seriously, honestly.
But they're looking
The
less and
Antler
less
Queen,
menacing.
though, she is so drawing inspiration from Yellow Jackets.
Oh,
Not trying to bring up our other podcast, but
Yes.
and then they do the woods thing and the fire. I'm like, this is so Yellow Jackets.
Yes, Yellow Jackets Buzz, new bonus episode of the podcast out today, talking about the Yellow Jackets season 2 trailer. Issa and myself analyzing it. And by the way, once we got done and that was reading more online, I'm like, oh my god, there's way more. We like
Me
scratched
too.
the surface. So we're gonna.
Me too. And I haven't even looked at the hashtag on Twitter. Like it was just Reddit.
Yeah. But yeah, can't take the Viking Raiders seriously.
Same.
But hey, they're going to face Drew McIntyre and Sheamus.
The Banger Brothers.
Yeah.
Have you tried Googling this?
Yeah. Is this like submission
Have you tried?
sorority?
Because I did on my stream today. I Googled it. It was not a good idea.
It's submission sorority all over again.
Yes, but worse. I have no idea why I came up with that genius idea to Google Banger Bros. But
why wouldn't somebody in WWE had to have, if they didn't know, they had to have Googled it and said maybe, hey, not the best idea.
I think they're just going based on this banger after banger, line that I don't know. I mean, it took me 5 seconds to realize that name was not a good idea.
Yeah. Well, it's WWE.
What would you rename them to if you had to keep the word banger? Banger Buddies? Maybe that's not so expert.
I think the Banger Buddy might be a product.
Banger Buds? Let me see. I'm going to Google that right now. Banger Buds.
These all sound like
if you Google Banger Buds, it doesn't come up as bad as Banger Bros.
What about? No, I'm not even.
Say it. No, you can't
no.
do that. You can't do that. It's illegal in 17 countries to start an idea and not finish the sentence.
Well, now that Vince is back, why doesn't he say like, I've got an idea? They talk about putting on bangers and they like to bang and they're a gang, so we could call them the Gang Bangers.
Stop.
Or the Bang Gang.
No, I thought you were gonna say the Banger Pals. Oh my god, no, that was even worse.
The Bang Gang. I don't know. It's all just this is the problem with Banger, and they know they're doing this. When they started doing the Banger, like they know what they're doing.
Oh, 1000%.
Yes. I don't know, man. Kind of crazy. But we heard from Bray Wyatt. How do you think this Bray Wyatt thing's going?
I love this. I love tonight
Wait,
so
really?
much. You didn't like tonight with the wooden chair and him cutting the promo as the Eater of Worlds, the good old Bray Wyatt that we all love?
He said he's Uncle Howdy.
Wait, what?
Yes, he's the eater of worlds, and Uncle Howdy.
Well, I don't know. Well, you know what? Then it's definitely the good old Bray Wyatt because I didn't understand half of what he said, but it sounded like the old Bray Wyatt.
First off, his entrance took longer than the promo.
No.
Time it. Somebody with a stopwatch. You go back and time that shit.
You want to hear something scary? Oh,
Sure.
first of all, before Bray Wyatt did the promo, we got a QR code. Did you see what it was? It took us to the Firefly Funhouse and the Fiend.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And when Bray came out, my dog, who was peacefully sleeping, ran to the door and started barking. And it freaked me out because he comes out of that door. What if it's connected?
Chris Barrett saying Bray Wyatt has gone too far off course, but now Night One is saying Bray did a good direct promo tonight, nothing overly cryptic.
I love Bray Wyatt tonight. I like the promo, felt old school Bray. I love seeing the wooden rocking chair. I loved everything about what Bray did tonight.
Okay.
The QR code with giving us the Fiend, I loved it. And he said that Uncle Howdy kind of brought him back to remembering who he is and reveling in what he is or whatever. I liked it, okay?
Okay, so would you rather have this or would you rather have the Firefly Funhouse and him doing the Muscle Man dance and hanging out?
Come on, that's an unfair question.
No, it's not. It's a legitimate question because
Okay,
the Firefly Funhouse was great, and this is
Firefly
mid.
Funhouse Bray is up in my list of favorite Brays.
Yeah, this is kind of generic.
It's not generic. Don't ever call Bray Wyatt generic.
Here's the deal. Bray Wyatt has been back now for what feels like a year, but in reality, it's been like 3 months.
Right.
It feels like it's been a year because these promos, like this could have been 2 promos, and I'm including the one where Uncle Howdy came out. Like there hasn't, like there's, if you were to go back and look at a transcript of everything he has said and the story here, like he is treading water and running in place with a lot.
Oh my God, I love what Dream Studio said in the chat because he says, "How do you make LA Knight more intriguing than Brian?" They messing up. Yeah.
What I'm saying is, yeah, this was such a hyped promo, and they did an amazing job with the White Rabbit and with his return. Right, that was incredible.
The White Rabbit has had nothing to do with this, by the way.
Yeah, and that's my point. This is all like. This has been like, this was the most elaborate and intriguing foreplay to what has been like the most monotonous and perfunctory main event, to use an analogy. Like he had me going and now it's like, wait, this is it? Like, can we go back to what we were doing before? Because that was pretty dope.
It reminds me of some horror films. You know how horror films sometimes put all of the best part in the trailer and then you sit down to watch it and you're so disappointed?
Yeah, it's Insidious all over again, where the buildup is really good.
That's a great comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, the first half is great, and then you're like, that's Darth Maul. I'm not scared anymore.
Right. I still like what he did tonight. It felt like the old school Bray. Have I been happy with this? No.
Trevor Stook, I feel like he's still playing the long game. I mean, how much longer until WWE sells to Tony Khan?
We're going to see him wrestle in 2 weeks no matter what.
Yeah, the pitch black match.
Are they going to turn the lights off?
It'd be amazing. Okay, this will turn around the entire thing. If the pitch black match is just darkness and we just hear sound effects and the sound of the match, but we don't see any of it, it will be the most incredible thing.
It's like I'm going to be in San Antonio, lights off, and all we hear is meat slapping and we can't see anything.
Yes, and just grunts.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And then you hear LA Knight say, yeah, here or there. Beautiful. Oh my God. Book it now.
Yes. And then the commentary should be talking about it like they can see, and they're like, you won't believe what's going on right now. Oh my God, from the top, this is the most savage thing I've ever seen. And we can see none of it.
Yeah. And you know the Royal Rumble is selling very well. Imagine those 35,000 fans not being able to see anything at all. I don't know why we're manifesting this because I can see them doing it. They like doing weird things with the lights when it comes to Bray Wyatt. So
wait a second. Let me put this out here. They should do, okay, so let me be serious for a second. They should do that and kill all the lights. And the only light is you see the fans holding up their cell phones. And that's how the match gets lit. That would actually look incredible.
Did you attend WrestleMania 32? You did, right?
That was Dallas?
In Dallas? Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember when he came out before the whole to interrupt The Rock? And
Yeah.
literally there was so many fans there that when the lights went off, it still felt like it was actually lit up.
But they should do that and light the match that way. I think that would look really cool on TV.
Maybe.
Well, what did you think of Raquel Rodriguez versus Liv Morgan?
Love Liv Morgan's gear. She looked very AJ Lee.
I think Liv's great, but there's just no momentum going on with her right now. It's like she's getting beat up by
I
these wrestlers.
hate to say this because I like WWE and their women's division. I think it's solid, but after seeing some of the other matches tonight it felt like they were putting women in the card just to put women in the card.
It did feel a little like that. And is Liv supposed to be more of a heel now?
I don't know what she's supposed to be.
You know, I wouldn't hate it.
Is she entering the Rumble at 1? Did they confirm she's entering at 1?
Yeah, that was
How
weird too.
How suicidal is she?
Well, it might be kind of cool if Toxic Attraction comes up to the main roster if they paired her with Toxic Attraction.
Why?
Because if she's going to be a heel, then she can go back to winning because she's got like Gigi and JC to help her.
They gave her Tegan Knox, and wasn't Tegan Knox? Who did she team up with recently? I don't even know. No.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to see Liv with Toxic Attraction.
Well, Raquel won that match. Poor Liv. Remember what a big deal it was when she won Money in the Bank? She cashed in. She was the champion. She defended the championship.
You know, I have something to say about this. I've seen a lot of people online talk about the women and how they cash in right away. And I gotta tell you something, I think they're smart. Look at how the last few cash-ins have gone for the men who wait around with the briefcase. If I'm a girl, I'm like, I'm a cashing right now. I'm not gonna wait around. They're gonna have me cash it in for the women's tag team titles or something. Like, no, I think the girls know what they're up to when they cash in the same night.
Yeah, they should strategy. It's important. Sonya Deville wants another match against Charlotte and was denied, so she just started beating up Charlotte backstage.
I love this when she was like, I'll figure out a way to get the rematch. Next thing you know, she's just beating up the pink Power Ranger backstage.
Like, it took me a moment. Like, that's all I saw on TV was that hot pink and blonde hair. And I was like, is that Charlotte? Like, because we hadn't seen Charlotte before that.
Right.
So there was like no context for it.
No, it literally looked like she was beating up the pink Power Ranger. And then I actually really loved this segment. I popped a little bit when Charlotte was like beating her up and screaming, I didn't start it. I thought this was fun, and I liked seeing this side of Sonya when she was like, you don't want to give me the rematch? I'll get the rematch. I love that. When she was like, Adam Pearce is like, enter the Rumble if you want a rematch. And she was like, there's got to be an easier way to do it. That's the way that a heel should always be thinking. So I appreciated that.
I agree. Well, and that's the problem. It's like, in terms of toughness, it's like we have Charlotte, we have Ronda, we have Shayna, we have Sonya, we have Raquel. And it's just like Liv is in the bottom half of toughness.
And I don't understand her gimmick.
Yeah.
Because she went through that weird thing where she was going kind of dark, but then she didn't. Like, I'm very confused. After she dropped the title, she feels very directionless. And I like Liv. I want more from her, but right now she just feels like you just said, like she's just there.
And that's
There's
the
no gimmick to her.
Look, here's the thing. I've been rooting for Liv Morgan since I saw her wrestle under her shoot name back in NXT in 2015 at the Armory in Lakeland, Florida. I knew she was an absolute superstar. Loved her in NXT. Follow her along the roster. We're so happy for her to get the title and have these opportunities. And now it's like they built this star that now they're just like not humiliating, but they're like taking away everything that they did to make her feel special in WWE. What are you laughing at?
I can't stop laughing at we buried Ronda for the Pink Panther.
Is this wrestle roast? Is this wrestle roast all of a sudden? Like,
it's too accurate. That is too accurate, Vulture. Chill.
Yeah, she's extreme Liv Hardy. Hey, Hardy is going to be at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Is he gonna perform?
He is.
Why?
I don't know.
Who asked for this? I don't even
Speaking
know
of
who he is.
why, I don't know who he is either. But speaking of why, Raw has its 30th anniversary coming up. Raw is the red brand. We had a promo tonight that featured the current remake of Eiffel 65's Blue for the promo for Raw 30. Explain that to me.
I can't. I was gonna ask you to explain it to me.
I don't get it. And like Eiffel 65, like Blue, like it's just such an annoying song. But so it was weird when it first started. I'm like, is this like some orchestral piano version of Blue? And then it was like when it was, I was like, oh, like I thought it was a joke.
Nope.
Nope.
Joke's on you.
Yes. Well, not a joke. Let's talk about this main event tonight. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. This is Sami's chance to really prove himself to the bloodline. And it seemed like
How many
he
times
had
is he
this.
gonna have to prove himself to the
I know
bloodline?
this is going on too long. This is happening. Like they're dragging this out too much, but I get where it's going. I mean, I honestly think if the Rock doesn't come back, I think we could have Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns on one night of WrestleMania.
Okay.
What's more? Where is there more groundwork right now in terms of story?
There isn't.
Yeah,
There isn't, unfortunately.
no. So I think
Unless they put him against Cody Rhodes, because I gotta tell you something. I love Cody Rhodes in WWE. His return, being there for that moment was incredible. But I am so sick and tired of the video packages. Like, hey, remember this guy? He's still around. Hey, look at him cry about his surgery. Like, shut up. You said you were gonna do the match. Suck it up and go in there and get stitched up and come back when you're ready to come back. I don't want to see a video package every other day about it.
See, that's why I didn't even want to talk about it, because I'm so sick of seeing this.
They're starting to shove him down your throat.
And it makes me wonder though, is his actual return timeline, does it keep getting pushed back? I mean, I'm assuming he's going to show up in the Rumble at this point.
Yeah, he has to. But just let him show up. How is it? It's not even going to feel as a surprise.
Okay.
He's going to show up at number 1 and probably win it, because that's what Cody Rhodes will do.
Okay, well, peep this. I think the reason why they're doing this is a year ago when Cody left AEW and this all happened with this build, we thought this was the biggest, craziest thing to happen in the world of professional wrestling in forever. And then we've had the year that we've had this year. And now they need to remind us, hey, remember this super crazy thing that happened?
You're probably right on that. Imagine you're Cody Rhodes and you're probably thinking like, oh my God, I'm going to have the biggest wrestling news of the entire year. And then nobody's even talking about it anymore because of all the crazy stuff that went down.
We've moved on.
A long time ago.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's a good point Ricky has. He could be at Raw 30.
Why?
Because they think it's going to pop a big rating. I'm sure they'll have like Stone Cold or somebody.
I think Raw 30 is going to already pop a big rating, saving as a surprise for the Rumble. But stop shoving it down our throats every freaking show. I'm surprised we're not getting Cody Rhodes video packages on NXT. Or we might be. I don't know.
What if he returns to NXT?
yo, he dethrones Braun Breaker.
Be kind of cool. It won't happen.
Wait, they go fishing together, though.
Yeah. Well,
Cody's like all American, like he loves fishing.
Out there smoking a cigar on the boat, you know.
With his neck tattoo, getting some sun on it. Oh, I missed that neck tattoo. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, really?
It? Yeah, I want to buy it. I want to buy it and put it on for one of my streams. They're selling it on the WWE shop.
Okay.
You know what? We should all buy it, all 3 of us, and wear it. Oh my God, I just got the best idea ever. We're doing it.
Anyhow, the main event tonight, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. I've seen these guys wrestle 100 times. Tonight was really good. Really competitive match, really physical match. Seemed like Sami Zayn had it. And then the Usos and Solo interfered. Why did they interfere when it seemed like this was so in the bag for Sami?
So that Sami loses, and then Roman can kick him out of the bloodline once and for all.
See, I thought they were there to help make sure that he won.
No.
Because they were doing the one.
Didn't you see the little face that Paul Heyman did earlier on when they had the conversation? Yeah. Like, Paul Heyman was like disgusted to be talking to to Sami saying something is going on here.
This has all been going on far too long.
It was a banger of a match, and I gotta
Really
tell you,
good
I don't know how Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn managed to have wrestled a million times, and every single time it's that good, and you're invested no matter what. But I really wanted it to have a finish. But listen, long-term booking here, right? I'm very curious to know what they're doing here because I did feel like the Usos interfere on purpose. Sami was doing great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a little suspect.
Suspicious.
Chris, I agree. It's not Cody's neck tattoo. It's not the tattoo that's bad. It's the fact that it's on his neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the design is cool. But you can have the coolest design ever, but if you put it in the wrong place, like no, it's just not gonna work.
Right. I agree. So no finish. Well, maybe Cody. Yes.
Maybe Cody will write in his diary at the diner. Why did they stop doing that with Apollo? Well, I want Apollo's deep thoughts.
They did it with Carmelo Hayes. He was trolling him. You want Apollo's deep thoughts.
Yeah.
Do you think he thinks with a Nigerian accent? Like when he hears the voices in his head, do you think they have the accent? This is a real question. People ask me all the time if I think in English or Spanish.
Yeah, no, I know. That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah. So do you think that do you think the voices in his head have an accent?
I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting. Well, it's like the idea. It's like someone that was born without the ability to hear. Like, do they think in sign language? Do they think in text? Like,
that's a good point.
I mean, it's interesting, right? It's like, how do pets scream? You know, if you don't have command of the English language, whether you speak a foreign language or lack the ability to speak. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? To think about. Do colorblind people or their dreams have the same color saturation issues?
That's a good point.
Have you ever had an animated dream that was like animation?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Trevor in the chat is English. I think and dream in English now.
Oh, there you go. Oh, so let me talk about this when we're talking about foreign languages. So I made a mistake. I was talking about how great it is when I listen to foreign language music that I don't speak the language because I get the energy, I get the rhythm of the vocals, but I'm not distracted by the lyrics. I made a huge mistake. I didn't do this with Menudo, but with Timbirici, I started looking up the translation of the lyrics. No. And now I know I can pick up words and what they're singing about. And now it's distracting me when I listen to Timbirici while I'm trying to get work done.
That's how I learned English, was by translating movies and songs. Yeah.
It's very interesting. But it's so funny. My wife
Please do not Google Bad Bunny translations. You don't need to know what he's saying.
Who did I listen to last night that was pretty dope? I want to make sure I pronounce the name correct. Plastilina Mosh. I started listening to last night.
I think you listen to more Spanish music than me.
Plastilina Mosh you would like because it's hip hop and kind of electronic with guitars. Okay. Yeah, they're very good.
Send me some links tonight.
They're very good. I started listening to them a little bit last night, and I'm into it. But that's the thing. I got to stop looking up the lyrics because it distracts me if I understand what they're saying.
Right.
Where was that comment? Brian Connolly, keep up the deep conversation. This is spark my first J tonight.
Enjoy, Brian. No, anyways, I really wanted Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to have a clean finish. But what can I tell you about it? It was a banger of a match, but the Usos and Solo interfere. So Kevin Owens won by DQ. So the story is going to continue dragging. I did like the beatdown on Kevin Owens because ultimately you do want to take him out as he is Roman Reigns' opponent for the Rumble, which not everybody's talking about it because we've seen that match a million times. But I appreciated the beatdown on Kevin Owens, continuing the story that they want to take him out before he gets to Roman.
No, absolutely. He's going to face Roman at the Rumble. So decent SmackDown tonight overall. I mean, it went by very quickly.
It did. It felt like it flew by.
But I'm going to say this again. Maxine Dupree just completely wasted. They're completely wasting her abilities, both as a promo, in-ring, whatever.
Agreed.
She looked amazing tonight.
And they also need to give the women storylines. It felt very weird how they just threw matches out there today with no reason whatsoever. I need to see storylines for these women.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really a shame too, right? I mean, it's like NXT's had the best women's division for ages now. And part of the reason why is they understand stories better.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Rampage. This was taped on Wednesday.
Yeah, tape Rampage. Actually, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Well, the main event really helped.
Yeah.
But we open with Darby Allin versus Juice Robinson for the TNT Championship. I love Darby's makeup
Rock
tonight.
hard.
Darby's makeup tonight was great.
Sure.
You don't like the change, the slight change in the makeup?
No.
Okay. So what'd you think of the match?
I thought it was fine. I didn't think that Juice was going to win, but it wasn't a bad showcase. It just felt predictable, and I avoid Rampage spoilers a lot. Like, I have a lot of the words muted just so I don't see it that way, because we have to watch it no matter what, right? Yeah, so I do avoid the spoilers. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me that Darby beat Samoa Joe for the TNT title, but Wardlow couldn't. And I don't know that I'm gonna be able to move on from that.
Wow. Well, Darby won. Sting came out to help him celebrate after.
Of course he did. Of course
yeah,
he did. It's Darby's daddy.
And that's the problem. Darby, your champion shouldn't look like a kid.
But he is.
Well, much like Dominic Mysterio, then Darby needs to beat
is
up
not
Sting.
A kid. Dominic is a man now. He went to prison.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Darby needs to beat up Sting.
Oh, I would love that, actually.
Actually, Sting's contract is up soon. He's supposedly retiring. Do you think that will be they'll do a breakup and Darby will retire Sting? Because I am here for that.
I wouldn't mind it, but I don't see Sting doing a solo match. I think it's always going to be a tag team match.
I don't know if it's the last match ever, though, and given his relationship with Darby, that would be a hell of a way to go out.
You're going to lay down for 90 pounds like Darby on your way out? That's how you want to go out? You're talking about Mickie James going out with that production tonight? That would be even more depressing.
No, I'm thinking Darby needs to carry like a weight with him that he picks up to help pin somebody. Like, Darby gets a backpack and he fills it up with lead weights and he puts it on, and then Darby pins somebody.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's what I want to see Sting go out like.
No, I think Darby and Sting would be a hell of a match.
You know, they grown on me together. They have, and as much as Darby's just not for me. But I do like them together. So I think a breakup between the two of them would actually be shocking.
Vulture Talk saying, and Roxanne needs to beat up Booker T.
yo, please.
Oh, I'm here for the Roxy heel turn. That would be.
I wouldn't be able to buy her as a heel unless she beats up Booker T.
I think that would make her championship reign much more interesting. But let's talk about the Acclaimed. Now, they had to do a second take of this, which I'm sure a lot of people saw the botched first take online.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, they just screwed up the intro and then came back out. But the freestyle was okay tonight. I think we all expected a lot more given the news of the week.
He still threw the blood money line in there, so
yeah,
he got that in.
Well, we're putting their scissors in cement tonight for the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I love that. Did you not love that?
That was good. And I have to say, like, okay, Matt Morgan used to hate when I would say this. This segment was cute. It was adorable the way this segment worked.
Wholesome.
Where the Ass Boys came out and interrupted them.
They say the only reason why you're relevant is because you stole our dad. I die laughing at that line.
Then the Ass Boys got pants. You saw their underwear. And then they got planted in the cement, planting their asses in the cement. It was cute.
It was cute. But I will visit a scissor concrete area. I would.
They should sell those in AEW shop. You know where you can get those models of hands? They should do models of the scissor hands.
Concrete though, I don't know if you want to put that in people's households.
Have you seen there are masks? So makeup artists, you know, when like an actor or actress does a movie and they need like effects makeup, they make the mold of their face. On eBay, you can buy these like plaster face molds of like Robin Williams or Arnold Schwarzenegger, And I wanted to buy some. My wife was like, "We're not gonna have creepy faces on our wall, like these
Why
white
not?
faces in plaster." I think they look really cool.
I will buy it.
Yeah, I was like,
Do
we
they
could
have a
arrange
Roman
them.
Reigns one?
Maybe, but I was like, oh, we can make it look at their faces trapped in the wall trying to escape. Be
Wow,
cool.
that's not
Yeah.
dark or anything, Glenn.
Well, my thought was, okay, so we used to have my brother. One of my brothers used to work at LucasArts, which is attached to like ILM, and so they would give stuff away sometimes. So he had this life-size Spider-Man standee from Spider-Man 2, and we put it in our living room. And when you walk in the house, it looked like there was a person in the corner. It looked like Spider-Man was there, so freak you out. So I was like, God, what a good burglar deterrent, right? Someone breaks in and they see this. So it's like if they see these faces in the wall, they're gonna freak out, man.
Like the movie Three Men and a Baby, the ghost that
Oh
ended
yeah.
up with. Yeah, that's
Um,
amazing though.
well, let's talk about Kings of the Black Throne versus Eddie Kingston and Ortiz. A match that I think had the unfortunate distinction of being opposite Mickie James's Impact match against Jordynne Grace.
Which is what I was unfortunately paying more attention to, but it's not also my fault. They haven't really done a lot to build this. It feels like this has been going on in like a couple of backstage segments and House of Black making no sense. And then I forget that Eddie Kingston and Ortiz are a thing. I don't know. I feel like they could have pushed this feud a little bit more. I wasn't invested.
I feel like Eddie Kingston is also a little bigger than this at this point. Like I'm surprised
Well, yeah,
that
he was feuding with CM Punk, with
yeah,
Jericho. He was like, and now he's just doing this.
yeah. It's unfortunate because I think he's one of the best talents in all professional wrestling, huge star in AEW. And I don't think this is elevating either side in this match necessarily. But from what I saw, this was good. Kings of the Black Throne won.
Yeah, and tonight one's point in the chat about the Julia finish, I still don't feel like she fits in.
Hmm.
I love her look. I love the aesthetic. She looks the part, but it still doesn't feel like she belongs in the House of Black. Like I still don't understand why she's there or what her purpose is.
Yeah. Yeah. And then friend of Wrestling Inc., Paul Walter Hauser, Golden Globe winner, Paul Walter Hauser, star of Cobra Kai, Paul Walter Hauser, had an in-ring segment tonight showing off his Golden Globe that he won the other night. And got interrupted by Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt. And this, this broke down, but Paul got to do some moves. So that was cool. Good for him. Danhausen was there.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of contract Jeff Jarrett signed, but he has to be on TV at every single AEW show. And this was the moment.
Well, they're just, I think Danhausen's not cool anymore.
Wow, same.
Like I loved Danhausen, but Orange Cassidy's one of his greatest strengths is Orange Cassidy doesn't really say anything.
Mm-hmm.
But with Danhausen, because he's in segments with Orange Cassidy, so Danhausen talks too much and is becoming a caricature of a caricature at this point.
You talk too much.
I've been hearing that my entire life. So Danhausen, I understand.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. It was okay. I think this was just Jeff Jarrett weekly television appearance that he has to have in every single AEW show for whatever reason.
Yeah. So let's talk about Ruby Soho and Willow Nightingale versus Anna J, AS, and Tay Mello in a street fight tonight. And holy shit,
they were not messing around.
Yeah, you might be thinking, okay, first off, let me give credit to this. You don't get women in the main event very often.
Right, especially on AEW.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say in AEW.
But I will say, every time they do a street fight, lights out, whatever, if it's the women, they do give them the main event spot. This should have been even on Dynamite, honestly.
This was amazing tonight. And Ruby all bloody like that, like the thumbtacks.
It's a little too much, no? She can't catch a break. Last time we see her like a few months ago, she has a broken nose. Now she's like bleeding to death. Like, poor Ruby.
It's funny. My wife was like, "This is really intense. This is really cool," and then she was like, "Okay, I'm out." Like with the blood. Like, nope, too much.
It was a lot. And there was also the spot where Willow like missed the table by a mile.
Yeah.
Like that was. But listen, these matches are messy, and they're spot fest. This is a street fight. You're not here to watch a technical match. So of course, a couple of spots were missed, but it didn't take away. I absolutely loved the match.
No,
I
this
just
was
hope
phenomenal.
that Ruby didn't like dehydrate herself bleeding. And I'm kind of here for the Ruby and Willow team. Like I didn't think I was gonna like them, but I didn't mind them tonight.
So here's the crazy thing tonight. I can't pick the best match I watched tonight, but I will tell you that
Ooh, that's a good point.
Gunther versus Braun, Sami versus KO, Mickie James versus Jordynne Grace, and this match, tough to pick.
Which means every wrestling show that was on tonight delivered something enjoyable, and that wasn't the only good match in Hard to Kill, in my opinion. Hard to Kill had a couple good matches, but that's the one I paid the most attention to.
Yeah. But this was a phenomenal main event. If you like blood,
they did a street fight. Sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
Macklin and Rick Swann did a street fight on Hard to Kill, and they were to a point where they were fighting so far on the outside of the arena that you could see the cars just going by on the road. It was insane. I absolutely loved it. I was like, oh my, imagine you're driving by and just look, and these two guys are just like,
it's awesome.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Killer of Demons 669 Willow versus Tony Storm next week. I love Willow.
Good. Yeah, she smiles.
She's
too
so
much.
good.
She's too happy for me.
But that's her.
I know, but I don't like happy people. It's not my thing.
Most of the time I've talked to you and the time I've known you, you're in a good mood most of the time. You're like in a really good mood most of the time.
Yeah.
Or you're just crying on the inside.
I just don't think happy, positive people all the time are up to any good. I don't trust them. They're not to be trusted. What the hell are you so happy about? What's there to smile about? Like,
I'm just looking at the screenshots of tonight. Like, there's one that's posted of Ruby, and it's just like, this looks like something out of a horror movie. Like, this looks so, so messed up.
Yeah, at one point I was actually worried. But they ended the match pretty quickly. She looked badass, though.
Yeah. It was good. It was really good.
I agree. I thought we got a lot of really good wrestling tonight. Everything went by very quickly. All shows just kind of like, they had a nice pace to them.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I was sports entertained.
Same.
Yeah. And, man. Yeah, that street fight. Like, I don't want to watch it again, but I've really good memories of that tonight. That was a really, really good match.
It was very, very good. And they do that a lot. Like, I think, wasn't Ty and Anna Jay on a different also street fight in the past that was very, very good? They need to feature them like that more instead of just looking like idiots in the background of a JAS segment.
And Ruby and Willow getting that win, well deserved.
I love seeing Ruby finally pin Ty Conti since they actually have some history.
Yeah. This was good. So there you have it. A night of professional wrestling.
You know, the best part is like it went by quickly. We were able to recap it quickly. We were entertained. Not a lot of negatives. I didn't hate the Bray Wyatt segment as much as you did, though. So
Good. So everybody, follow Issa on the Twitter at NYC Demon Diva. That's Diva with a 1. I'm Ackline Rubenstein. Check out Yellow Jackets Buzz back today with a bonus episode breaking down Yellow Jackets Season 2 trailer. And have a good weekend, everybody. It's really, really good to see you again. We'll be back Tuesday to talk about NXT, the fallout from New Year's Evil. Who knows who will own WWE on Tuesday?
Hashtag justice for Grayson Waller. By the way, I was watching just to get a clip, and I was laughing so hard because on the beginning of Tuesday's episode, you said, we're just going to sit here and speculate without any confirmation from any confirmed source. And I'm like, that's exactly what happened. That was literally the best way to describe Tuesday night. It was wild, though.
Yeah, it was crazy. And so I'm an idiot because, I mean, it's like I think sometimes in wrestling, it's funny that people like wrestling journalists should be ashamed of themselves. Wrestling fans should be ashamed of themselves. It's like, if you're a wrestling fan, wildly speculating about things that may or much more likely may never happen, like that's being a wrestling fan.
Yeah, and there's like this kind of speculation happens with every sports, every kind of fandom. The rumors might not get as wild as it does with wrestling, but I see it all the time. I was just like looking at even in baseball, people like speculating about this Carlos Correa contract and who he was gonna end up with and how he's failing all these physicals. And I fell in a rabbit hole on YouTube watching people talk about what was going on with his contract. Like this happens everywhere. We just maybe a little more hardcore about it.
Yes. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Have a great weekend, everyone. We will catch you back here next week on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Take care.